Since you fucked up the macaroni and cheese, you're cleaning up all this shit by yourself. Junior, Dejana, nor me are gonna help you clean up. We told you don't put that shit in the macaroni and cheese, but you insist on putting it. So since you want to do things your damn way, we gonna do shit our way. We get ready to go upstairs and go to sleep while you clean up all this shit for Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. We love you, but guess what? This shit ain't fair that we couldn't even get a decent thing of macaroni and cheese. We got to wait to go back to Goose for Auntie Carrie to make us some damn macaroni and damn cheese. Because you decided to do some bullshit you didn't see off the damn internet. Don't experiment on damn Thanksgiving. Don't experiment on Thanksgiving.
Mom,
you experiment by your damn self.
I've with cream cheese before.
Hell, don't try it with us. We don't want that shit. Auntie Carrie gave you the damn recipe. But you chose to do shit on your own.
Flaw cigar. Fresco.
Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Fresco, fame of House Fresh, first of his name, Warden of the North, Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, rightful king of the Andals, and all 7 kingdoms. You can follow me on Twitter at Fresco Ben Famous, BIN Famous, and on Instagram at Fresco Fame.
Okay, we fancy.
You like that?
And it's your boy Flaw 700, a.k.a. Flaw Claw Van Dam, a.k.a. Flaw Cigar. We are the Podcast Brothers, and this is episode 113.
113.
Live from Starbucks.
Yes, Starbucks again, downtown Trenton. Shout out to my brother Dean for filling in for my absence last week. You know what I'm saying? It was a good episode. Shout out to Soul Snatcher.
The Soul Snatcher.
Yeah, man, get your feet work right. And holla at her.
We got a few real ones in the building, man.
Yep.
Shout out to Jarrell from Social Gibberish in the building.
Title. That's pretty cool.
We got Jessica from the Audio Fam Network group. You know what I mean? We appreciate you coming through.
Shit.
Yes. Yes.
Nasty shit. 24/7. But it's appreciated. Great conversation.
Do remember, man. Follow your boys on, you know what? Subscribe to the Google Podcast. I did this study, right? And this is a gem that I'm going to pass to you guys. Apple and Spotify kind of run like 75% of the podcast market. So do us a favor, man. You know, check your boys out on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Those are the two right now that really got the people's attention. So all of that, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, those are dope. But ain't nobody clicking on them links, man.
Yeah, well.
Nobody clicking on the links.
I guess people just use they use what they use, man.
They use what they use.
Use what they use. It's all good. But check us out while you using what you're using.
We do have a special guest. He has not arrived yet, but when he arrives, you will know. But we're going to kick this episode off.
I believe the term fashionably late is appropriate.
And I think he's all right with that.
I think so.
I think if he was on time, it'd be a problem.
Right. I think fashionably late is a phrase that describes the individual perfectly well. So
absolutely.
It's all good.
We can get into our weeks, though, if you want to do that.
I ain't going to go too far into detail, but I'm only having one baby mom, so.
That's how we starting this episode off.
Hey, listen, man. I can't do this shit 2-3 times. I don't know how niggas do it. I know how niggas do it, man. Shit ain't work. All right, cool. But this fucking headache shit, listen. Hey, man. You know what? Whenever I bring out the man, Terrence Howard and me, man, somebody got to get their ass whooped, man. That's how I feel. But I ain't going to say why I've been led to this statement. I'm going to just tell you motherfuckers, I'm doing this shit one time. All right? Once. Other than that, my week was pretty cool. Niggas saw Creed 2. It was lit. We'll talk about that a little bit later. I feel like
maybe not. I don't know if the guest seen it.
All right. But last week I wasn't here because I tried to go see one of my relatives who has been incarcerated for a minute. And I tried to see him twice. The first time I tried to go, the goddamn GPS sent me to the wrong place. I'm at the spot, but it's like 3 different jails on this base. So they sent me to like 2 different spots back and forth, and nobody sent me to the right space. So I wasted that trip. I get there this time, I get to the right space, but now they tell me my attire isn't acceptable to enter the prison. So I can't go to it was a wasted fucking trip. I felt like I drove the entire day. So now I drove there. I was with my brother Donovan. Shout out to my brother Donovan. We drove there. his attire was straight, so he got to go in, but I can't even sit in the car in the parking lot. The guard was like, hey, you got to leave the premises. So I had to drive the fuck back home.
How far is the drive?
Like 45 minutes. Nah. So I had to drive back home, you know what I'm saying? Because he was like, yo, I came out here. I don't want to not see him, you know what I'm saying? So he stayed in some. I drove back home, and then like an hour and a half later, I had to drive back to go get him. Got lost again. 45-minute drive turned into an hour and a half fucking drive. I was tight, son. I was mad as hell. I had to spit at the security fence when I rolled past. Wasn't nobody in it though, but I just felt better when I did. Like, fuck you coppers, and I just spit like that. Other than that, my week was cool. Spent some time with my son. We went to Funplex. On Friday, which was cool. Thanksgiving was cool too, but a little bit of family drama at the end of the night.
What's a holiday? What's a get together without it, huh?
Niggas gotta stop drinking, man. That's all I gotta say, man. Niggas really gotta stop drinking, especially if you know you're a particular type of drunk. Just not even walk down that street, bro. You need to go down a different avenue. I suggest marijuana, preferably, but that's just me. That's my week.
My week. Okay, so Monday, right? Peep me out. Check me out. So on Monday, I decided to go to Wendy's for lunch.
You went to fast food?
But
and
hear
that
me
breaking
out.
everything?
Hear me out. I ordered a salad. So I'm thinking, I'm at a fast food restaurant, but I'm about to get one of the 5 healthiest things on the menu. So,
I hope that shit had a ton of
get the
calories.
salad, spicy chicken, delicious. Wednesday come along. I pull up the Wendy's again, but this time I got an appetite for some 2 spicy chicken sandwiches. You know what I mean? Whatever. So I pull up to Wendy's and there's a sign on the window and it states that due to the recall of lettuce, we will not be serving salads. So I'm sitting there with the dumb face on. Now, it's only Wednesday. I know damn well y'all sold me some toxic Roman lettuce.
They sold you that E. coli lettuce, bro.
You know what kind of, the look on your face you have thinking that you eating healthy, and in reality,
you got worms, bro.
Triple Wendy's burger with bacon probably would have been healthier than that salad.
It probably would have tasted better too, to be honest.
Oh my goodness. So,
I've been upset.
So I'm sick.
Fake sick, nigga.
Goddamn right. So that blew my mind. At the end of the day, because I've heard about this salad thing, but I don't really be Googling stuff.
That was...
the lettuce thing.
I'm going to step into my Game of Thrones bag. That is, you've been forsaken by the workout gods for choosing a place to eat that was against the holy temple of working out.
Nah. They do say, though, when you do intermittent fasting like me and you work out, you can practically eat anything. That's what they say. So if I wanted to go get a triple burger with a large fry and a Coke, I probably could. It'd probably be the only thing that I could eat. Huh?
Pizza fuck with you now, right? You can't
Pizza.
do pizza
Yo,
no more?
I got to cut pizza out, man. The sauce give me heartburn every night. You know how you might go to sleep with the chills? I go to sleep with the burns. I'm just sitting there burning the hell up. Like,
So many things wrong here.
Like, yo, just let me go to sleep. Just
Jesus.
About four tums.
Go to sleep with the burns.
Just sleep with the burns. Sitting there just burning up.
I felt that from eating too much pizza. I felt that chest burn from eating too much of that shit.
I just turn the fan on and I just breathe in the cold air. I don't know. I just cold, cool. I'm burning up. I think that's a dope combination.
Yeah, breathe in the cold air to help his chest burn.
I can't hear you. What you say? Sugar and what? No, I'm not putting sugar on my pizza. It's the acid it is.
Yeah, because tomato paste has a lot of acid in it. So
Woo!
and this nigga said, I get heartburn, so I turn the fan on and breathe in the cool air to help relieve my. I think it makes sense. Worst fucking prescription I've ever heard for a nigga. That's funny, bro.
But let me ask you this question though, because
you gotta drink ice water or something like
that. Ain't well.
I'm just saying.
Let me ask you this quick question, though, when it comes to the fast food restaurant. It's a fast food restaurant. What should be the penalty when they tell you to pull over on the side, your food is cooking?
Oh, like, that's a good question.
50% off or free? Like, because
you kind of tarnishing the whole fast food idea.
It's fast food.
Right.
I'm on some. Listen.
I got another question for you. How do you also feel about when the drive-through is longer than the line inside the fucking store.
We just lazy.
Like,
we don't want to get out the car.
Yo, whenever I go to Chick-fil-A drive-through always wraps around the fucking building, but the line inside is like 4 fucking people. Like,
you can just get out.
yo, just get the fuck out, man. Look, I just take advantage. Fuck that, I'm getting out.
But my thing is, when you order your food, they don't tell you it's a 10-minute wait on chicken.
Right.
They just take your bread, and then when you pull up, can you pull over?
But why is it a 10-minute wait on chicken? All you got to do is drop the bitch in the grease. And you're like, you got to make the fucking chicken. It ain't like that shit bacon in the oven and that.
That's my
Why the
point.
fuck is it even 10-minute wait? You should have the next batch already in the grease when this batch is getting low. Fuck y'all doing?
I would say
McDonald's here.
I would say get a free sandwich, but if you like on a calorie strict diet, like extra food probably wouldn't help because, you know what I mean, you probably ruin your diet. Like I don't want 3 chicken sandwiches. I just wanted 2. But half off or free for the next one, that would suffice.
Let me get that third sandwich, man. Or maybe they should just have special coupons printed for that type of scenario. If your food isn't ready,
Right.
you pull up. And
Have a
you gotta
coupon in
wait
the bag.
You got to wait a certain amount of time. You get a coupon for a free meal. Your next.
Absolutely. I like that.
Hey, yo, McDonald's fucking me, yo. All you niggas, actually, shit, that wasn't just for McDonald's. Whoever got the check, that's who it was for.
And then, of course, Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving was lit. I missed the actual blow up that you were talking about, so I can't speak on that.
I mean, I missed it as well. I got it through a third party, but it's a very solid and reliable source.
But let me tell you why I'm pissed off, though. Kind of pissed off. Black Friday. I miss it every year, and I don't really be sweating it, but then for some reason, something hit me this year, right? I don't like to wait for things. If I want it, I'm going to buy it. Mm-hmm. Case in point, my TV costs about $2,000. But it's something about that TV going on sale 40%. It's something about that TV going on sale and you getting it for 40% cheaper than what I got. It got me thinking, you about to get that TV for about close to like maybe $12,000, right?
12,000, 1,200?
1,200, my bad. For like 1,200, because I paid $2,000.
That TV
and you getting it close to 50. 50 would have been 1,000. All I had to do was wait a month or two. Even a video game, if I want to play 2K or something, and I'm going to go spend $59.99 on the game because I want it. And then you go online, 60% off. Bruh, I'm hating on the low, though. I ain't going to lie.
I understand. I want what I want when I want it. Now you got to ask yourself,
That's true.
If you would have waited to buy that TV, what the fuck would you have been watching in the meantime? Well, how do you would have kept yourself occupied from, all right, I'm going to wait till it's September 1st. I'm going to wait till Black Friday to get this new TV. What the fuck is you doing between then and then?
I have TVs.
So what the fuck, nigga?
I wanted a new one. It's not like I didn't have something to watch. Now, if you just move into your crib and you don't have no furniture, I understand you going out and spending the money on it, whatever. Spend your bread. But if you got something and there might be a Black Friday sale in like 2 months, I got my TV in June. So, of course, it's longer than 2 months. But I do sit there and think like, could I had a whole held on? I don't know. But I'm still hating for the fact that
I feel you.
I'm hating. So I'm mad about that.
I mean, everything goes on sale at some point, though. So everything's new, and then the shit gets old, and then the prices drop because something newer comes out, and this shit ain't popping like that no more.
So with that being said, I'm not buying nothing next year till Black Friday.
That's a lie, motherfucker.
I'm not buying a thing.
That's a bold-faced lie.
Watch me. Hey, electronic-wise.
Yo, bro.
All right.
Now, I think that's more difficult than you to not going to the fucking gym. I truly believe that.
Me.
I truly believe that.
Watch me work.
Hey, man, if you want that shit, get that shit. That's how we doing it.
So, I don't know if Jayden seen Creed, but we could actually talk about Creed real quick if you want.
I do.
Now, skip 10 minutes if you have not seen Creed yet. This is be a spoiler, so skip 10 minutes. Have you seen Creed, Jessica? Did you plan on seeing it? Okay, cool. We can talk about it.
Cool.
All right.
I like Michael B. Jordan. He's a big-ass crybaby in all his movies, though. But I like Michael B. Jordan. I like how it was like a traditional Rocky movie. It was the way they shot the fights. Even the storyline. It was a lot of connected pieces from Rocky and when Apollo died and shit like that. But on a scale of 1 to 10, I give this movie a 9. I give it a 9. It was a good-ass movie, man.
I had this.
You in the seat, you get hot. You like, oh, shit, damn. You see how he was punching that nigga? Drago wasn't no little nigga, man.
I had this conversation with you yesterday about the movie. Wait, Jarrell, did you see it? Did you plan on seeing it? Okay. All right.
Yeah, we definitely didn't even ask him.
Yeah. My bad.
Left the chat sitting there.
I learned a lot about boxing in this movie. I'm not the biggest boxing guru, but I learned a lot by watching this movie. When the movie comes on, Creed wins the title, and they keep echoing the fact that the boxer that he beat is 3 years over the hill. Mm-hmm. Creed is in his prime. And they told you, had this fight would have happened 3 years prior,
He wouldn't have won.
it might have been different. And they keep showing scenes of little Ivan Drago. His name is Victor Drago, I believe.
Yeah, I think
Victor Drago fighting in the basement. And he's fighting in dungeons. No lights, no nothing.
Alleyways, no shoes.
He's big, but he ain't really been tested. He fighting amateurs. Getting his record all big up. 20, I think it's by the time he fought Creed, he was like 20-0. Probably was more than that, but 20-0. So Ivan, still obsessed with Russia and Russia loving him. Ivan is the father, by the way. Saw that Creed won the heavyweight championship and then thought that it was time for his son to take what was rightfully his. Not Victor Drago, Ivan Drago. So dad put son in a lose-lose predicament. All right. So they go challenge Creed. Creed takes the fight, even though Rock said he shouldn't. Because Rocky is like, what you fighting for? Turns out that Creed is fighting for his father's legacy. Wrong move.
Legacy over. He dead.
Make a long story short, they fought. Victor beat his ass.
Nah.
Victor didn't beat his ass?
Nah, he ain't beat his ass. He damn near killed that nigga, son.
He almost killed Creed.
He damn near killed that nigga. He had broken rib, a punctured kidney, like lacerated nostrils, whatever.
And it was spooky how Creed was just laid out in the middle of the ring, a la his father.
Yep.
So it was just like watching that was spooky.
And then on top of that, it was like it's whenever a nigga make it to the top, you always lose the edge because now what you was fighting before is not the same fight as a nigga that's coming from the bottom with absolutely nothing. So he made it to the top. He got a new baby on the way. Rocky not training him. Nigga, you're not about to win this fight. Your whole life is different. Nothing you was doing that got you to be a champion is what you're doing now while you're a champion. Nope. And that's why Vic Drago came through with them hands of steel. Man, he beat that boy up like a fucking pinata, man.
And before I go too far, their first fight was Drago's kind of like first fight under the lights. So when he walked down the aisle, he was amazed. You could see him look up at the lights. That was the second fight. That was the first one.
But he was amazed at the lights?
The first fight was when he finally got the fight around a big audience. Now the second fight, yeah, that was big too because he had a big entrance.
Yeah.
But his first fight, he walked out, he looked up like, he wasn't used to it. Wasn't used to the lights. Because once again, his last fight was in the basement somewhere.
A basement in Russia.
Yeah. So.
And then Ivan Drago was wilding out, man. Listen, the whole country abandoned that nigga when he lost to Rocky in Russia, which was a great movie, by the way. Y'all should watch that. So then his whole thing was grooming his son to be the heir for him that takes back and gets him back in good favor with Russia. Man, he had dinner with them niggas, and his wife even left him. The kid's mom. Man, he had a dinner when they set up the fight with Apollo Creed in Russia and everything like that and was going down. I guess the Russian powers that be had a round table meeting with Drago and his son, and the mom walks in. Young Victor at the table like, man, what the fuck is we doing here? Like, you still trying to impress these niggas? Nah, Pop, you wilding out.
That's exactly how it happened.
Nah, Pop, you wilding out. Got up, pushed himself away from the table. What we doing here? You know, the Russian and shit. You know, no offense to Russia, but yeah, that's the best I can do.
Sounded good.
Yeah, it did.
It did.
What are you doing here?
I didn't say do it again.
That sound like more like Sylvester Stallone. But anyway, yeah, it was like that. And I feel young Drago on that. Like, nah, I'm not here for them. Like, why are you trying to press these niggas?
Before I get too far, I also want to let it be known that when Ivan fought Apollo was over the hill. Ivan was in his prime and on steroids. So I just want to keep that in the prime, out the prime thing going. So Drago fought Apollo when Apollo was out his prime, killed that man. Adonis won the belt fighting a champion out his prime. My thing is this. Okay, so Drago loses the fight actually because he gets disqualified. He hits Creed when he's on one knee, which damn near kills him. So they get a rematch. Rocky trains him now. He winds up beating Victor's ass. I say that to say this. What I learned from boxing was Creed is in his prime. Victor Drago was forced to fight by his father. Wasn't nowhere near in his prime. He was just big as shit. And when you look at it, you're like, oh, he about to beat the shit out of Creed. He wasn't ready for that. He wasn't ready for the lights. And that's what I got out of boxing. When you box and you're not in your prime or somebody's out their prime, they got the advantage, man. Creed was in his prime. He was the world champion. He was like 25-1, used to the lights. It was bittersweet.
I slightly disagree.
On what point?
I slightly disagree. He wasn't in his prime, but I don't think the lights bothered him because he was fucking Creed up. I think he realized that he didn't want to fight for the reasons that he was fighting for, which at the end of and then first of all, he was beating the shit out of everybody in those dungeons and alleyways he was fighting, so he never had a full-length bout with a nigga on his level.
He didn't go past 4 rounds, they said.
Right, so he was tired by the actual end of the fight. And I think, you know, with realizing everything with Russia and his dad and his mom, he was like, yo, I really don't want to fucking do this. I think it was like, yo, I don't want to do this shit no more.
I actually want to be a plumber.
Yeah, like I thought I didn't like this nigga, but I kind of don't have a problem with him. And like in the middle of the fight, he was just like, when he saw his mom walk away, it was like, yo, they really don't give a fuck about it. So I don't want to do this no more.
So I'm not technically meaning lights, but what I mean is rest in peace to Kimbo Slice. He used to beat everybody ass in the backyard. But when you put him in that octagon with the lights on, not saying lights, but the lights, people watching, and other professionals, it's a whole other ball game. Yeah, you ain't that vicious guy that was in the backyard. Yeah. We all got hands over here.
Right. Now I get that. I just don't think, because like I said, he was still fucking Creed up. It wasn't like he was taken back by the amount of people that was there. At first he might have looked around like, wow, this is different. But in terms of the fight still, he was still chipping Creed the fuck up.
All right. Well, you know, that was dope,
Go see Creed 2, man. In theaters, man.
So another thing I wanted to talk about was, so we already talked about we enjoyed our Thanksgiving. I want to talk about this thing that's going on, which isn't new, which is new to me, and that's Friendsgiving. I didn't know that was a thing until the other day. Friendsgiving.
This is a new concept to me as well.
I have a huge problem with Friendsgiving, and I don't like it.
Tell me about it,
I got the biggest problem with Friendsgiving.
Why? Why you got a problem with it?
I got a big problem.
Is it because you don't have any friends?
No, not that. Not that.
You mad at other people's friendships and they're able to host these types of events?
Not that.
See, me personally, I'm not doing that shit, but I don't give a fuck about other niggas doing it. It kind of don't make sense. I mean, I fuck with my friends. I love my friends. I see y'all niggas when y'all see you. We link up. But like Thanksgiving is already a time for family, goddammit. If you ain't close enough a friend for me to consider you family, if you can't bring your ass over to my grandma's house or my mom's house for Thanksgiving dinner, we ain't about to have our own event, nigga. I'll see your ass later.
Here's my problem with Friendsgiving. It's been going around for years, and I've seen the memes, right? When Big Mama passes away, the families more than likely are going to stop getting together. Mm-hmm. That's something that's in the air. That's something that could possibly happen. Even with our family, when Mama Jean decides she doesn't want to do this no more, we then have to figure out what's the next move.
Which might be pretty soon, based on the shit that happened at the house for Thanksgiving.
The problem I got with Friendsgiving is we can't get together as a family and do nothing right. So when everybody's big mama decides not to do something no more, the family is assed out. But now y'all done turned this to a Friendsgiving thing. Oh, we so happy to go do that. We gonna skip to the friend's house, but meanwhile, we all scratching our head on what we doing with the family. The energy's different. When it comes to the family, we don't know what we gonna do next year because grandma not cooking. I guess we not going. Oh, but let a Friendsgiving go down. We skip it to my Lou, to whoever house our friends are. So I just see the changing of the guard in that way, where it could be a time 5-10 years from now. Like I say, when Big Mama no longer wants to do this, or she goes to the upper room.
I don't know. I guess with families,
you don't see that?
Yeah, I see it. Now it makes sense. I definitely understand what you're saying. I see it from a different angle because I really do talk to the majority of members of my family, and I try to like, yo, such and such is going on this day. If I hear about an event and I think it's something that's up somebody's alley that I know, I'll extend that invitation. So I speak to like a lot of my family on a regular basis. I just think,
What does that?
I'm saying,
Are
so
you putting together the Thanksgiving event?
I mean, I ain't cooking, but bitch, you bring a dish. You know what I'm saying?
Come to my house, but I ain't.
Yo, come through, bring a plate. Because it ain't about me cooking, it's just about me having a family together. So bring what you want to eat, motherfucker, and show up at 3 o'clock. What the fuck?
And you're going to carry on tradition. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Do we?
Like,
okay. So you're taking that on.
With that. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that because I actually been calling that because I'm one of the only people in my family who calls people just to see how they doing. I ain't talked to this nigga in 2 months. Yo, he's on my mind today. Yo, what's good, cuz? You straight? Hey, grandma, how you doing? I ain't talked to you in a week or so. Hey, auntie, how you been? What's up, bro? You all right? I do that shit all the time to everybody that I fuck with.
That's fine, but the responsibilities of Thanksgiving is different than just saying, "Hey, how you doing?"
Not really, but shit is gonna be on my terms. Like if I'm the one nigga reaching out, then I'm the one controlling what the fuck is going on.
Okay, so we get together to have Thanksgiving.
Hey, don't bring that nasty ass shit you brought last year, nigga. I'm not playing.
I hear you. So we have Thanksgiving on your watch, and let's say something happens on your watch, like something happened last Thanksgiving, or you want some, we ain't doing this no more, or you want some, see y'all Christmas.
I can point out the source. You know what I'm saying? You can point out the source. Nigga, you disrespecting my crib, bro. You can't come on here on that bullshit no more. That's it.
All right, well, guess what? This is what you're doing. In the future, when but then again, that's you. I'm speaking as a whole, as a whole. Like these memes and these jokes have been going on, but it's just at the end of the day, we got to take that serious.
Yeah.
When the house that the family
members
goes to,
be too stubborn with each other, man. It's like motherfuckers be open to having that awkward conversation with their friends, like, yo, my fault, bro, I ain't do it. But when it come to your family, it's just like, man, fuck that nigga. I'll talk to that nigga later.
But see, I think you're talking about two different things, though.
You think so?
Like, just having communicate. Like, there's some people that you link up with for Thanksgiving that you ain't seen all year. But when you see them, we pick up where we left off at. That's just the nature of some people. I can do that.
Who am I spending Thanksgiving with that I ain't spend all year? That right there is weird. If I ain't spend all year,
a few times. Like, what I'm saying is, how many times did I actually see Aunt Martha the entire year? You understand what I'm saying? How many times did I see family members that year, but then when Thanksgiving comes, it's all hugs and love? You know what I'm saying? It's like that's holidays sometimes for some people. Mm-hmm. I ain't seen you all year, but guess what? When I do see you, how you been, what's going on, it's all love. I ain't probably gonna call you for another 3 months. That's just me.
Right. Now, I'm the opposite. Like if I only see you on Thanksgiving, I'm like, hey, fuck.
Nah.
Fuck you doing here?
So you're saying because we're related, not saying me and you, but because you're my aunt, I'm your cousin, you think you have to reach out to people?
It depends on the relationship. Like, if we grew up together, like I got cousins that I slept head to foot in the same bed with. Them niggas, yeah, I'm calling them, checking up on them, see what's good. Even if I can't do nothing for you, we can talk. Like I can extend that hand. But people who I only see so seldom, I'm not moved by that. Not much. Like, but it's the people in my family who I do have that connection with. Where it's, hey, what's going on, Jack? Like, I talk to those people like on a pretty often basis.
Here's my thing with that. I got a lot going on, right? I'm busy. I do my thing. Hold on. We got our guests coming through.
He don't know how to open
yeah,
the
just
door.
You know what? We'll be right back. We was talking about, I asked Fresco, just because somebody's related to you, do you think you have to reach out to them just because I'm your cousin, you're my aunt?
No.
No, okay.
Yeah, none of my dad's side of the family I communicate with, and it's not that I really have anything against them, but we were just raised in two different worlds. A lot of them were raised in D.C. My parents insisted on us being raised in Maryland so we can have a different life, and when I'm around them, it's just I can't be fake. So I'm not gonna reach out to you and be like, hey, how you been, when I really don't care.
Right.
So
absolutely.
You live your life, I'm gonna live mine. But of course I communicate with my immediate family, make sure my younger brothers are good at my parents, and we have a strong bond, and that's what matters.
That's what's up. On the topic of Thanksgiving again, right? You said it's so I don't think most of us actually celebrate like
I was just thinking that
Thanksgiving. Like, it's not like
it's a day off from work and food.
It's a day off that we just get to eat. I think most people is just on some shit with. So I completely understand like your reasoning, because I feel like that too. I feel like most holidays that we celebrate is based off some fucked up history.
Right.
You know
Columbus
what I'm saying?
Day, 4th of July.
Right. All that shit.
I'll take the day off.
But I take it and activities that come with it, but I'm not necessarily going, hey, this is the day My ancestors came over here and helped us out. Like, no, motherfucker. Don't get shit twisted, goddamn. We just enjoying the food that's going to be available anyway on the day.
So now we got you here, but we can get this Jayden Hollywood. Jayden Hollywood, but is Jayden the Great or the Great Jayden? Because you corrected me in the chat. Which one is it?
It's the Great Jayden.
The Great Jayden. My bad.
All social
Get it
media,
right?
yes.
On all social media. So let's get right into it, man. Tell us who you are, even though we introduced you. Still, tell us who you are, and just what you got going on. You got a podcast and all that. So tell our audience who the Great Jayden is.
Yeah, man. I'm a Renaissance man. And if y'all don't know what the definition of Renaissance man is, Google it. But I do a little bit of everything. Full time, I'm an accountant. And I also have a podcast, Unapologetic Podcast, Unapologetic with the K. And where we talk about pop culture, but we spin it for the culture.
Gotcha.
So if we're going to talk about something that happened, for example, Kim Porter just died.
Yeah.
You know, most people are just going to say that she died. For me, when I have that conversation, I'm going to talk about the underlying issue, and that's the fact that doctors are not giving black women the care that they deserve or they need. Mm-hmm. And then every episode, because we're bi-weekly now, that I have, it's always a different topic and a different guest. But I always want the listeners to, one, laugh, but I also want them to have a takeaway when they listen to my podcast. You know, sometimes I'll listen to a podcast and I just feel like I didn't get anything from it. And if I'm going to put out content, then I'm going to make sure that the listeners are taking away something.
You don't feel like that when you listen to us, do you?
I do.
Well,
No. I feel like I get taken.
I'm about to say, damn, for real?
Honestly, I was going to piggyback off of that because some things did change, which kind of segues into the second question. Mm-hmm. Is there some adjustments you made with your show? Because I'll say this. Recently, I think we've decided to have conversations that two men can have that could possibly give the listeners and women and people who don't understand, man, an insight into what we think. I want every episode that we do from here on out to give you guys a gem.
You look mad different.
What'd I do? I lost like 10, 15 pounds.
He ain't lose that much weight. So.
I did.
I think it's the gains. I need to get like you. January 1st.
Whatever it is.
I'm trying to get like you.
I know what happened.
It might be the shirt.
I know what happened. This shirt's a size smaller.
Oh,
That's
okay.
it.
Gotcha.
What do you want me to do?
Okay.
But and that goes into my second question. Like, did you make any adjustments with your show since you started? And I'll give you an example of what we did.
Yeah.
I listened to like an earlier episode, and we used to spend like 15 minutes shouting out the Pod Squad. I said, oh no, that's trash. I'm shouting out every other podcast, and we ain't got to no type of topic yet. I hated that. So it's just something simple like that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not about to spend 15 minutes shouting out 20 different podcasts. Shout out to the ones that do. I know John does it real well, but when I was like, nah, I got to cut that out.
Shout out to all the podcasts, though.
But I don't do that anymore simply because, one, I don't really have the time to listen to podcasts like I used to.
Right.
And on top of that, I just feel like, in general, when I hear people do it, it seems kind of fake to me. Like, people will be like, oh, yeah, I listened to so-and-so last week. Really? Because they haven't released the episode in 3 months. So how'd you listen to them last week? Or somebody be like, oh, yeah, pod in. I'm listening to this podcast. And then 20 minutes later,
you listen to something
pod
else.
in. Now I'm listening to this podcast. That episode was an hour and a half. How'd you speed through an hour and a half in 20 minutes? So I can't speak on what other people do, but for me, people don't come to my podcast for that. They don't come to my podcast for other recommendations, so I don't feel the need to spend 10 minutes doing that anymore. But I shout people out on Twitter. If I'm listening to it and I've genuinely fucks with you, I'm going to promote you. I also cut down the time that I used to spend on just the Hollywood news part. Like, honestly, I just got drained and tired, and I'm over talking about celebrity gossip and drama that where it doesn't relate to me.
Yeah.
So I don't like when people break up. I don't care. Like
don't
Cassie and Diddy, I
feel like if I don't give a fuck about the niggas around the corner breaking up, I don't give a damn about these motherfuckers on TV breaking up.
Shout out to the podcast that do.
But sometimes I feel a connection. Like Janae and Big Sean, for some reason, I was kind of bummed that they broke up.
Yeah,
I didn't know they did.
I didn't.
She had the big face on her arm, right?
It's gone.
What'd she get?
Well, now she's working on like a whole body piece with like a dragon, and she covered that up. I mean, she went online to try to cover up the fact that she covered up the tattoo, but I mean, we know y'all broke up. So
I don't believe in no young celebrity love. I just don't.
Yeah,
do it.
no. I don't even think people in their 20s or people that are in their prime career should focus on being in a relationship. I mean, it just seems dumb. Like if all your time is going into being this successful, career-oriented person, especially if it involves a lot of travel, then you don't have the time to give the effort to having a successful relationship.
Right.
Like me right now, like people ask me, am I dating? And I'm just like, are you crazy? Do you know how much I work? Do you know I'm working 45 to 50 hours a week. I'm studying 20 hours a week, and I'm working on my brand, the Jayden Hollywood brand overall. There's no way that I would be able to give the love and time to another human being. So if more people would keep that mindset and understand that you don't have to be married by 25 or 30, then I think this world will be a better place. I don't
mind them being in relationships if that's what you're going to do, whatever. I just don't like how their private affairs get publicized as if it's any different from any other relationship that you might hear of. It's just like, yo, all right, they going through some shit. It might not be some shit that you would do, but you've been in a situation and did some shit that the next man or woman wouldn't do. So I don't want to look at their situation like, damn, y'all crazy. I can't believe you did that. That's not for me to decide. I don't do that. Like, niggas do be doing some wild shit, though.
When you're a public figure, everything you do is up for public.
Comes with the territory.
Right, it does. I just don't, I only care about people for whatever you provide into the world. You entertain, all right, motherfucker, entertain. Outside of that, you regular in as far as life goes.
Right.
But for you, question, how do you define brotherhood? Friends.
Most people look at, kind of like how I said earlier, most people think brotherhood as this is just my blood brother or my fraternity brother. But for me, I just think the having synchrony between men in general is brotherhood. So if men can work together towards a common goal, if men can work together to enrich each other's minds, to me that's brotherhood.
I agree. I feel like a group of men, they could be one or two, just with like-minded intentions. You know what I'm saying? And shit, if y'all gonna be thugged out, shit, be thugged out on the same level. You know what I'm saying? Like that's your man's. That's what y'all doing. All right, cool. Do that then. You know what I'm saying? But I look at it from a point. It's just for me, brotherhood defines people who I can have certain conversations with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I can talk about certain things with, and you can possibly learn something from what I'm giving you, and I can learn something from what you're giving me. And it's like, all right, yo, I like talking to him. He got some shit with him. I can take from him. I can learn from him and add it to who I am. That aspect of brotherhood is the one I put like at the top because that's the most important. Like, feed me, my nigga. Like, teach me, help me, and vice versa.
I feel like I've gained brotherhood even through social media. It's crazy. Like some people, I feel that I've, it's weird, but it just happens. I just created equality relationships with other men where they can confide in me, the stuff that they have going on in their life, and they feel comfortable and they know that once they tell me something, the world is not going to know about it.
Right.
And
of high importance.
Yeah.
I think brotherhood for me, and this is just some stuff that I've seen, I definitely think brotherhood needs to have a little bit of criticism involved in it. And I think that I don't see that enough to where it's not, because like brotherhood to a lot of people just cover up. Not really tell your brother, your boy, what is. It's like,
oh, you fucked up.
Like, how many best men at a wedding pull, after the wedding, pull their guy to the side and be like, listen, bro, you foul.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's a different type of loyalty. It's a different type of loyalty. Loyalty just ain't, all right, I'm going to cover up the tracks. I'm gonna wipe away the prints. I'm going to make sure
you got to hold
good.
your homie accountable too. But
all
even then, that's hard for a lot of people because...
And that's hard for people to accept.
It's hard for... I think it's harder for more people to accept somebody being critical, judging them from a standpoint of constructive criticism because most people become defensive, not even taking into account the person who's saying it. Like, I feel like if you saying something of value and you're a person of value, you gotta listen to that. No matter, regardless of how it's hitting you, you gotta listen to what this person is saying because they're a person of value and what they're saying is valuable. But most people don't see the value in that or in the person. They just become defensive. And fuck you, I can do what I want. Who is you to be telling me what to do? And it's like, all right, well, I ain't telling your ass shit else.
But then you can't have a brotherhood like that, though. To me, I think once that person,
that's not there.
Once that person says that, then I'm out because I can't really be an honest brother to you. Right. So now you only want me to tell you when you're doing good, or you want me to lie to you and tell you that you're really doing good when you're not?
That's legit every single relationship, though. Like, even romantic relationships. Like, that shit comes with whatever type of bond that you have with a person.
Right.
I'm not just going to compliment you all day long.
Right.
Like, you have bad qualities, too. All right, and when them shit show, I feel like I have it's right of me to let you know like what you're doing that's like fucked up or offensive or rubbing people the wrong way.
Yeah, I've actually had to put pause on a friendship before because I'm telling this person over and over again what you're doing is wrong. You don't need to be in this situation, but they choose to do otherwise. So I just keep it moving.
Absolutely. So I want to talk about mental health real quick. You were one of the big advocates for it, introducing me to it just by speaking on it a lot. And I think on our last episode, you talked a lot about mental health and going to see a therapist of what happened with you in school growing up. As a young, I think you went young. Mm-hmm. Right. You talked about going young. And I never went. And I had thoughts of going. But just to continue conversation from other podcasters, my brother went. I said, you know what? Let me see what this is about. And it was one of the most beautifulest things that I actually could do. So I just want to get into the conversation of mental health and where you at with that right now and seeing therapy.
So important.
Man, my life right now is amazing. Like, when people ask me how I do it, I just want to start saying, I'm living my best life. Because honestly, ever since I made the conscious decision to effectively take into account my mental health and my mental wellness, my life has changed so much for the better. I don't have toxic people around me. And the way that I live my life is, if you cannot communicate with me in the manner in which I desire, then you do not have a place in my life. Mm-hmm. I don't care who you are. I don't care if brother, sister, mother, father, President Obama, I don't care. If you cannot respect me, give me the same respect that I'm giving you, then you will not be in my life.
Adios.
And I'm actually in the process right now in teaching my parents how to effectively communicate because they're just so used to being stuck in their ways. My mom is actually an immigrant from Africa and my dad is in the military. So, neither one of them really
a lot of emotional
it's just a lot. It's just a lot of chaos. And now that I'm an adult, they understand. They have no choice but to respect me, and they have no choice but to hear what I'm saying and really digest it. And I'm definitely seeing that change. I'm also seeing the change in everybody in my circle. It seems like everybody in my circle is starting to just be healthier as far as what you digest, whether it's auditory or the foods that you eat or the people that you keep around. It seems like everybody around me is just seeking positivity, seeking balance, and seeking tranquility, and I love it. As far as professionals are concerned, it's so crazy because I was going through a really rough time in September, and then I went to a therapist, and there was an issue with my insurance because it was so backed up. They don't have enough psychologists to help everybody that is requesting mental health. Mm-hmm. So it's like if you want to make an appointment, you can't make an appointment for a month. So it's crazy because that one session that I had with the therapist just fixed everything. Like, I'm good. I'm probably going to have to go back in January though, because that's That's the busiest month at my job. You know, I just know. Like,
you're an accountant
coming.
in January. Yeah, that shit get heavy.
So it's like a detox, a mental detox, and I definitely recommend everybody go. You don't have to be crazy to go to a therapist. Just like people like. It just baffles me that niggas will go to the gym 7 days a week, twice a day, and then go home and beat their wife and won't go to a therapist to fix that unpacked trauma that they have in their head. Like, you witnessed your father beating your mother. Okay, you need to speak to somebody about getting that emotion out and being able to have a relationship with other people without being abusive and without being so angry all the time.
You know what helps me? You know what helps me, yo? I act shit out. Like, I'll be in a house by myself. If I get into an argument with somebody, and I'll be like brushing my teeth, and I'll be thinking the scenario.
The whole argument.
I'm like, I should have, motherfucker, it's your fault, bitch. Like, and I'll say the shit out loud in the mirror. Like, that shit helps me, yo.
I do that in the car, but I've gotten caught one time.
That shit was weird, right?
Yeah.
You look like, oh shit.
I've actually had moments where I thought I was thinking about it, but I was actually saying it out loud. I didn't know that I was.
And then you look around.
What you say?
Make sure you by yourself.
Nothing. But yeah, it's like sometimes like I'll really act it out. I didn't think of that, but if I'm mad at somebody, I'll kind of like speak about it because I'm good at that. Normally, if I speak on it, all right.
Because once it's on your heart, like, you gotta say it. Well, for me anyway, once it's on my heart, I gotta say it, and then I'll feel better after I say it. And even if there's nobody around, I'm like, yeah, bitch, you knew better when you did that shit, bitch. And I look around, it's like, well, let me roll this blunt.
But I think it's important, just like what you said. I think it's important for you to communicate your feelings with people sometimes. See, for me, coming into adulthood, the thing that I had to learn how to do was being able to express myself in a mature manner without cursing somebody out. So
it's a transition.
You know, I might just say,
hard transition.
You know, that, you know, I felt like that was kind of dirty what you did. You know, like why didn't you communicate that way?
Right.
You know, I just take a pause and then I say what
found that when you pose the question to people, it actually puts it on them and not on you. Instead of saying, "Oh, I fucking hate you for what you did," you can be like, "Why did you do that to me? Like, that really hurt me. Why did you do that?" Then it's like, well, I didn't mean to make you feel that way. You know what I'm saying? You flip it, you put it on.
What if you say, you hurt me, and they say, well, you hurt me too? Then we're, you gotta stand still. It's like, wait a minute, I'm trying to get you to feel me right now. Like, don't hit me with the...
Well, I think what you said is good. I think to pose the question is good. You get that person's mindset.
You gotta think, like, why did I do that?
And then you let them know how it made you feel.
Also, I've learned that it's the way I might say it that throws people off. I mean well, and I'm really trying to get to the bottom of what I feel, but my presentation just might be a little off.
No, but if that's who you are, that's who you are. And then at a point, it's up to the person who you're with to understand, okay, that's how he naturally speaks. It's not any malice or anything behind it. But a part of who you are has to be taken into consideration with you cleaning up your own shit at the same time. You can't just be like, well, this is who I am. Bitch, I scream. Bitch, take it.
In the heat of the moment, if you mad, you're going to get what you get. I can't.
It depends. It's not even only that. Everybody knows, anybody who knows me knows that I'm a straight shooter. I could be extra 99% of the time. So I was having a conversation with my friend, and I was, you know, she had failed a class last time she was in school. Well, she failed the whole semester. And I was like, okay, you're going back to school. What are you going to do so you don't fail again? And she took that like
straight to the gut.
Yeah, she that angered her, but she was able to communicate that the way that I said it was coming off really wrong, especially since that's the soft spot for her. And I was like, well, thank you for pointing that out to me. And then I took a pause and then I reworded the question. So it's all about communication on both parts.
Absolutely. But you meant well. And that's the frustrating part that you'll have. Like, I mean, but that is it. Get up and go right back at it.
Yeah, but that's all I'm saying. Yeah, but also if you meant well, there shouldn't be any type of anger when a person tells you what you said offended them. It's like, oh, okay, my fault. I didn't mean that. And like you did, you reword it. It's like, okay, I didn't mean it as offensive as it came, and then you slightly reword it for the person to understand. If you're still offended at that point, it was like, all right, fuck it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All right, fuck it, never mind. You just don't get it. You know what I'm saying? But initially, you know what I'm saying? It's like if you're not angry at them when you're telling them about themselves, then you shouldn't be angry when they tell you what you said offended them. It's just like a simple rewording. Oh shit, my bad. I didn't mean it. Yeah. It's like, well, you're still making me. All right, well, look, bitch. Listen, I can't fucking help you no more. All right.
So,
but one last thing. Yeah. In addition to going to a psychologist, I also went to a psychiatrist because
Can you state the difference? Because I really don't know. To be honest with you.
Well, the biggest difference is that a psychiatrist can give you meds and a psychologist doesn't. Oh. Psychologists and therapists are interchangeably used.
Okay.
And don't be ashamed of, actually, I'm glad you're speaking on that because some people think that if you need meds or something, you know what I mean, they don't want to speak on it.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you're speaking on it.
Yeah, it's two completely different issues. I went to the psychologist because I was having issues at work. The biggest thing for me was controlling my anger and setting boundaries and not believing in myself. Sometimes I beat myself up mentally. Like if I feel like I could have studied for 8 hours and I only studied for 4, then I kind of beat myself up and then I get into not a depression but a state of sadness. Mm-hmm. So working through that is my reason for going to a therapist. But the reason I went to a psychiatrist is because I suffer from ADD, and sometimes it's very hard for me to focus. I can't do long lectures. I can't study for long periods of time. So in order for me to secure the bag and effectively get through this CPA material, for those who don't know, I'm studying for the Certified Public Accounting exams. It's 4 exams, hardest exams in the nation. It's even harder than the bar that lawyers have to take. So in order for me to get through this fast track material that I'm doing, I needed to get some medicine. So,
I might have ADDT too then, because I know I fucked it up.
I was about to say, that's a new disease. Tell me about that shit.
No, I ain't got that shit. I can't long, like, extended, things of extended period of time bother me. I don't want to be here. Like shit, an 8-hour work shift is like, what the fuck, man? Like, nigga, I can't. I'm sitting here, I can't do it. I'm taking it personal. I'm going down to the cafeteria for like 20 minutes. I'm watching 10 minutes of Sports Center. All right, let me get my ass back upstairs before they come looking for me. Right. And like, but I gotta do that shit to make it through my day. Like, I don't like long movies, like extra long movies. Them shits bother the fuck out. I can't sit there for that long period of time.
Yeah. So
I gotta see a psychiatrist, son, so I can get the meds.
You should. I mean, I talked to the psychiatrist, let him know what was going on, and then I was given a prescription for Adderall. And a lot of people, when I tell that, they're like, whoa, because most people, the only thing that they've heard about Adderall are the people that get it illegally because they get it they get somebody else's prescription. Mm-hmm. Now, if you use an Adderall, somebody's prescription from Adderall, first of all, that you've never used before, your body is might have some adverse reactions to it. In addition to that, somebody that's been on Adderall for years is probably on a high dosage. So that is definitely not for somebody that doesn't have a prescription.
I don't even take other people Advil, nigga. Nah.
Yeah,
get the new pack.
So for me, I have a small dosage of Adderall. It's only 10 milligrams, and I only take it as needed. We're both in agreement. I'm only taking it on the weekends.
What's the side effects to that pill?
The only side effect is dry mouth, but I drink a lot of water, so I don't have that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, well, it's not one of them commercials where they tell you might get your foot
Adderall.
off.
Yeah.
See a doctor if your foot gets
Adderall. You may experience blurry vision, dizziness, headache syndromes.
Right. Might become pregnant. You might die. None of that. I haven't had like nothing bad. And the first time I took it, I was at work just to see what side effects I would have. Didn't really have any bad side effects. And then I took it before a class, and the small dosage I'm on, the effects really only last for 4 hours. So then after lunch, I'll take another one. But it's great. It helps me focus. I feel normal. I'm concentrated. Everything is kosher. I don't have anything negative to say about it. So,
fact. All right. So, hey, listen, right? I was reading this article, right? It's about a wife who received anonymous text messages from a number she doesn't know, and it was the day before her wedding, right? And the title is "Wife Reads Husband Text Affairs Instead of Her Wedding Vows." The day before her wedding, the bride-to-be received text messages of screenshots from an unknown number. Attached to the screenshots was a message that read, "I wouldn't marry him, will you?" Text message read,
Dirty game.
"This weekend, you and I, it's on. Hot stuff. Bring your A game."
Oh, shit. It's a hell of a calling card. Oh, the Batman signal in the air.
Yeah. Right. He's like, was you speaking in code, or when has she not brought her A game? It's like, listen, you was trash last time.
How much is entry?
Another text message read, "Your body is fucking incredible. And shit, do you know how to use it? I wish my GF, my girlfriend, had half the skills you do."
Oh, man. Jesus.
Imagine reading that the day before your wedding.
Jesus.
First of all, let me say that will never happen to me because
Inviting you.
that will never, ever happen to Jayden Hollywood because I'm all about communication in my relationships. And if, like I said earlier, if you can't effectively communicate, then we can't have a relationship. So for me, if my partner that I'm engaging with is looking to have sexual encounters with other people, then that's something that they need to bring to the table, and we could discuss how we would go about doing that. You know, I'm a man, you're a man, you know.
So
I know how it goes. So I'm okay with that, but that needs to be communicated.
So what we just heard, right? So she decided, so her friends, so now I'm trying to remember what the article was. Her friends was like, cancel the wedding.
Right. And
she was like, she decided to sleep on it, and the next day decided to continue with the wedding, but instead of saying her vows, she read the text messages. So if we got these text messages the day before our wedding, what's the move y'all making?
I think the move that she did was...
If you got the text messages, are you going to continue the wedding? Well, not continue because they didn't get married, but are you walking down the aisle and replacing this with your wedding vows? Or you like, you know what, forget all that?
Hell no. Why the fuck am I wasting my time and get dressed or some shit I'm going to just fuck up anyway? Like, nah, I'm not getting dressed to embarrass myself and everybody. No, I'm going straight there. I'm knocking on doors ASAP.
Her hotel room.
I'm going wherever she is. I'm going straight there. It's getting handled at that moment. I also gotta ask myself.
He's serious. He's dead ass.
Yeah. I'm going straight there. I also gotta ask myself, why the fuck is this person being an asshole now? You want to send this shit to me the day before? You innocent? You innocent?
Unknown
shit?
number. Who are you?
Who the fuck are you? I'm calling that motherfucker too, bitch. Who the fuck is this?
First off, who is you?
You know what I'm saying?
I need to know that. Because even though the information was valid,
I still need to know, like, what the fuck?
Who was you and what was you doing this whole time?
Was his face in those pictures? How I know this came from the phone we talk about? Like, I need more than just a motherfucker sending me shit.
I am mad at that part.
You know that ain't no black woman.
Yeah.
Right.
Nah, but...
I need more. Just based on what I heard, I didn't hear any names. I didn't hear anything, like, directly incriminating. It's just, your body is fucking awesome. I could have been a screenshot on Twitter, for all we know.
Right. I mean, if I'm on Tumblr, you know, I still want to get married. God damn, she hot, ain't she?
Nah, we not getting married, though.
But Jayden, what you doing?
We definitely not getting married.
Yeah, to sleep on that, I wouldn't even be able to sleep that night.
We not sleeping.
Yeah,
sleep on it.
No way. No.
Something has to get damaged. I gotta throw a trash can or something.
Yeah, somehow, some way, I have to transfer that energy.
Right. That's what I'm. Man, look.
Yeah. Yeah, she must be a very passive woman. So kudos to her to be able to do that. But nah.
But to go through the whole wedding still just to like blow it up.
She put the dress on, son.
Yeah.
How did you all the girls put the dress on?
How did she help herself? Like, I'm saying, what did she get from that? Like, how did you help yourself by going halfway through the wedding?
Who knows?
That adrenaline you feel when you get the messages is the adrenaline I'm going to need. If I sleep on it, knowing me, like there was a post that I made about how long a zodiac sign stays mad. I think mine was like 30 seconds. I'm really that type of guy.
Yeah, me too.
Like if I sleep on it, I do not have the same energy regardless of what you did. Nope. So I might really be like, you know what? I think people mess up. Which brings me to my second question. Does cheating mean you love that person less? Because I'm really on something. He might be an asshole and a cheater, but he still wanted to marry her. He still loved her. But does cheating...
It's possible.
But does cheating mean that I love you less?
I don't think so.
I fucked up. But... Go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's a different... I mean, one is in your heart and one is in your brain. Some people Some people inherently have a crazy high sex drive. And women will never understand this because women have a whole different brain than men.
Absolutely.
So they'll never get it. How a man, it's literally like hunger. Once a man reaches that climax, then it's all good. Once that dopamine has been released, then he's good. It's like he's back to thinking normal. Mm-hmm. And even with women, sometimes women don't know it, but there's a lot of women in this world that walk around with attitudes and walking around angry at the world, and all they need is some dick. That's it. They just have a vitamin D deficiency.
It's like sex and watching porn. When you get done, you're like, what the fuck was I doing?
Nah, you ever
did I really want to do that?
You ever shoot that shot and you be like, oh, what you about to do? What you about to do? Yeah, it's real. Yeah. Everything you said was absolutely 100% factual.
So I don't necessarily think that you don't love somebody because you physically cheat on them, but sometimes, a lot of times rather, the emotional connection isn't there, and just, people can't keep it real.
Here's what I think, and I've heard women say this, and I just think, and I'm talking about this because once again, like I said earlier, I think men, we need to understand how women feel about that. No matter what we're doing, intentionally, we're not trying to hurt you.
Right.
What women feel, though, is the embarrassment. She was embarrassed. So our excuse is we hit them with the Tyrese method. I F them, but I love you. We think that that's what they want to hear. It's not. It's the fact that you embarrassed me.
There's never going to be one answer that's like satisfies.
But that's our thinking process
in that situation. Even in a woman's thought process as well. It's like she has to know that regardless of what he says to explain himself, it's not going to make her go, oh, I get it. I understand. It's still going to be that same heightened sense of emotion that's going to make her overreact. So regardless of what the niggas say, even if it's the truth or some bullshit, it's not going to like band-aid the situation. Unless there's like a legitimacy, which there rarely ever is, behind your actions.
Let's keep it real. The truth of the matter is that a lot of people are in a relationship that have no business being in a relationship.
Absolutely.
A lot of people who do not believe in monogamy will be in a relationship with somebody just to make that other person happy. And I don't believe in that. If you know straight up, there's no time anytime soon that you can only be monogamous to this one person, then don't tell that person I want to be in a relationship. Now, people do mess up, but there are some people that will literally get married and then the next day have sex with somebody else, and then the next day have sex with somebody else. Like, it just doesn't make sense. You already knew what was good. Why are you?
Because what I'm saying is that person that you speak of isn't attaching my love for you with what I'm doing with these other women.
Yeah, but that other person wants monogamy and you don't.
Right.
So just say that straight up. If you know that you are not capable of being monogamous, find somebody that is okay with you not being monogamous.
You're absolutely
There's
correct.
people out there. Or live single or friends with benefits.
That is absolutely true. But not everybody is Jayden Hollywood. Not everybody is saying, hey, bring it to the table. If you decide to cheat on, like, when you cheat, that's just not a conversation you want to have. You're saying bring it to you. But if your guy slips up and does something, and then you think that, okay, let me go tomorrow, meet me at dinner, I got something to tell you. I don't think it's going like that.
It's because they don't bring it in the beginning. People know from day one that they really not about that monogamy. The reason why a lot of men that get in a relationship that are not about the monogamous life is because I don't want this person to be messing with other people because I view this person as my property. So you cannot go anywhere, but I am going to fuck your friend and I'm going to fuck your sister, and you're not going to say anything about it. You're going to shut the fuck up and stay right there, cook my meals, and iron my clothes before.
It's different levels to it.
That's just
people think like that.
You're absolutely correct.
That's a savage. Correct. That's the ultimate savage level of thinking. There are some honest situations where it was like, yo, it shouldn't happen. Like, but what you was, I wanted to touch on the fact when you were saying bring it to you, and what bro was saying, like, that's just not a conversation most people even know how to begin to deliver. You know what I'm saying? Because you already know where the pitfall you know where it's going. It's a pitfall at the end.
Let me tell you something.
You're already at the end of the rope. Like that's what I'm thinking, though.
Y'all would be surprised how many women understand the man's brain and understand that a man is going to do some things. Why do you think sometimes these celebrities that have like a football player husband, when they release to the tabloids that he's cheating, she stays with him? Because they already have an arrangement that we didn't know about. And she's okay with that. Mm-hmm. She is like, there are a lot of women that are okay with that.
You got the local couples that work for that ain't rich?
Listen, I live in Atlanta.
That's a completely different climate from where we are right now.
Okay.
Actually, no, it's not. No, it's not. It's not that different.
Couples.
I just thought about it.
Both married and not, that are into bringing in third parties.
Sitting right across from us, huh? Talk about it. Shout out to Mike.
You got the juice.
I mean, let's be honest. A lot of times people get in relationships they're not not physically attracted to. They just feel a spiritual connection. So
they don't want to be alone.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different reasons that also make you attracted to people, man. So the flesh is tempting. If you go and do it, shit, be safe.
I just feel like there's honest. I know people make mistakes, but I feel like there's no excuse for people to
step that boundary.
It's no excuse for somebody to say, I don't know how to say this to this person, when if it's really something that you want to learn, you're going to do what you need to do to learn it. People will get on YouTube and find out how to change a tire, how to change their oil, how to do YouTube tutorials.
You can find out how to tell your girl you cheated on her on YouTube too? They got that?
You can talk to a therapist.
I'm saying most niggas ain't going to therapists.
Okay, well, that's the problem.
That's your problem.
A lot of people who don't.
I'm not saying me.
Health.
I'm speaking for the common niggas.
Yeah.
We got to speed it up a bit. We got time restrictions, but we good. Now, you mentioned something about the pop culture and worrying about other people's business. Mm-hmm. Well, it's time for Fresh Fiasco.
Well, we're getting everybody's business.
People's business.
All right.
We already gave y'all an hour of just personal men stuff and what we get through. So now we about to be nosy and mind other people's business. Fresh Fiasco. Juelz Santana proposing to Kimbella now that he's facing years in prison and after his teeth fell out.
It's fresh for me because at the end of the day, she's not going anywhere. She's going to be with him regardless. And I think that this is his way of telling her that he has finally realized that he has been wrong all these years, and that the relationship
realize a lot of shit.
That the relationship is in synchrony right now. I mean, honestly, a lot of people say, "Oh, she waited 20 years. She's a dummy," but those same people can't get a man. So, and on top of that, it works for them, you know. So, who am I to say that she's a dummy? Obviously, she loves him and they're life partners. So it is what it is. He's basically telling her that, I don't want anybody else. I want you and I love you. Yeah, he's about to go to jail, but she wouldn't go anywhere either way. So I think it's nice for him to make that the gesture itself is nice.
I looked at it from two different aspects at first. And I was looking at it for like money wise. It was like, shit, if you're going to do some time, you want somebody that's going to be able to hold the bread. Gucci went to jail and gave his shorty mad bread. He came home, she flipped it to a small empire. Right. Which is what you want. So yeah, that's fresh. But even it's fresh all around just for the fact that people always say, oh God, girl, you waited 10 years? That couldn't have been me. So what you gonna leave this 10-year relationship, get into a 2-month relationship and marry that nigga? Like, I don't, like, things just don't happen just like that. Like, if the relationship is good over an amount of time, regardless if you got a ring or not, why would you jeopardize that and give it up just because he's not proposing to you or not marrying you? Did he do something wrong? Is there a problem in the relationship? Or is he just not proposing to you? It's not a reason to leave a 10-year relationship, not in my opinion. So if they get to this point where he faces a dilemma, you know, well, fuck it. Like, let's do it. Let's do it. He probably was going to do it anyway. Who knows? I'm with it. I'm going to go fresh. She likes it. I love it. Or she loves it. I like it. However it goes. 10 years. You damn near married.
You're like, it's us.
That's what I'm saying.
Without the ring, without the paperwork,
Right.
it's us.
What's the difference?
If you do the history, they both have been, slept around on each other and done things to each other. I do think that us as men, we got to stop waiting until we think it's over for everything to want to settle down. I just think that you'll normally, like Mendici did it. It was like, I'm about to go to jail, so marry me. Hold me down.
I know what I'm doing when I get sentenced.
But, right. That's just like, okay,
Hey,
it's
baby,
over.
look, I'm about to get this 8. I can't have you leaving.
Fabulous.
Baby, about to do this 8. Wait, he proposed?
No, Fabulous was a little different because he didn't want her to go on trial. On the stand and be
Testify
cross-examination.
Yeah, he proposed
because
though.
He knocked her teeth out.
But once again, these women have been in your lives for so long. Children, and you didn't marry them, and then when circumstances hit you,
Listen,
you know what?
When a white man gets involved, you want to be probably legally good to go as best as possible. You can't run an illegal empire from in boss. Baby, you do it.
But honestly, we're outsiders looking in.
Right.
Who knows? Day one, he might have told her, "I don't want to get married," and she
Absolutely
was probably
correct.
okay with it.
And she waited 10 years to change his mind, and she won. She won. Shout out to Kimbella. Fresher fiasco.
I'm with it.
Michael B. Jordan says he wants to fight Roy Jones Jr. in the ring, and Roy Jones accepts. Fresher fiasco.
Oh, he wants to fight him for real, not
For
movie.
real. We ain't talking greed. We talking see me, Roy. See me with the hands in the ring.
Why?
I don't know. He feeling himself.
The level of confusion on his face right now. Why?
Okay, that's...
Hey, it's obvious that Michael B. Jordan must have forgot. You didn't get that ass. What? That's a goddamn fiasco, man. You're an actor.
fiasco.
He's a professional boxer. Give a fuck how old he is. He really threw them things. You cut between scenes, motherfucker. It's fiasco.
Cut.
Yes.
God damn it, Drago.
Right, exactly. Come on, man. I ain't got enough sweat. I ain't got enough water bottle on my face. It look like I ain't sweating hard enough.
Right.
Nah, it's fiasco, bro.
Case
Fiasco for you?
closed. Fiasco.
I'm gonna go fresh.
Of course he
I'm
would.
gonna just go fresh.
Of course he would.
man.
Be an asshole.
Roy ain't been nice in the last 15 years, man.
Because he was fighting actual fighters, right?
He's a
If Roy lose a fight to an actor, then yeah, he's washed the fuck up.
You don't have to.
But guess what? I guess we're all going to watch now because we got to see this. So I'm going fresh. Michael B. Jordan, do your thing. Show him it's not a game.
You can't yell cut when you get hooked neither.
All right, Fresher fiasco, the last one for the day, man. A brawl broke out at Pusha T's Toronto show. Then he came back to perform Infrared. If you don't know, he went out to perform. Some audience tried to heckle him. The security beat down the people in the audience, and he came back out and performed his Drake diss in Drake's hometown. Fresher fiasco.
It's fresh. It's fresh
It's
as
fresh.
fuck.
Obviously, people are your fans if they're there, and the show must go on.
Yeah. It's fresh as fuck. Yo, I'm in Toronto. First of all, fans need to stay in a goddamn place. All right? Yeah, you're from Toronto. Yeah, you're a Drake fan. But it's not give you the notion to jump up on this man's set. If it was that bad to begin with, what the fuck you go to a show for? You paid money to go to a show to confront somebody about a situation that has absolutely nothing to do with you, and then you get stomped the fuck out. What did you win here? Like, what the... Not only you paid to get your ass whooped. That's what I'm bringing in from this shit. This is just all around dumb. Pusha T can go anywhere he want and perform. That venue booked him. They paid him. Yeah, I'm coming to perform there. The fuck?
Shout out. I like it. I'm going to go fresh. Shout out to the energy in Toronto. That's the way it used to be. You can't come to my hood and perform without at least somebody trying to touch you. You know what I mean? I just think we get too comfortable in this time where you can walk anywhere you want because you got mass security. He went to Toronto. Bold move for you. My peoples are supposed to react. That's what hip hop.
That ain't his people.
Man, they was Drake's stance.
Nah, but you're making it like his entourage. These are just regular 9 to 5.
But I'm saying,
you motherfuckers.
if somebody dissed you and they came to Trenton, wouldn't you want somebody in this city?
Drake wasn't there.
No, but I'm saying to you, if somebody dissed you, you're a rapper, and they came to Trenton to perform, wouldn't you want somebody to throw a beer?
No, I don't give a fuck. No.
Yeah, he's not a rapper.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
These niggas ain't rappers neither.
But we get it. It's a rap thing, though, man. Somebody throw a bottle of something.
No, how's that helping me?
Yeah. Don't go to Drake's backyard when you diss me. That's what I'm saying.
I don't give a fuck about that because I'm going to just book a show where he
these
from.
Rappers need to realize that you can't walk in this world thinking you untouchable, just like Tekashi 6ix9ine realized.
That's different.
That's
very different.
Untouchable, and now all your actions
Same thing.
have a...
Pusha T ain't acted untouchable. He went to go do a concert.
He just did a show. He just did an
Tekashi
episode with Joe Budden.
untouchable.
Still dissing him.
Pusha T, that last diss that he did, that was fighting.
Son of Aiden or something like that, right?
Adeon.
Yeah.
It was definitely fighting words for the person it was intended for.
Yeah.
I truly believe that though. If you diss 50 and you go to Queens, somebody better do something. If you diss Snoop and you go to LA, somebody. It's just how it is. This is me. Old school rules, baby.
That's rap for you.
I guess I'm coming to get that bag. I'm gonna be ready too. Goddamn.
So this was episode 113, man.
113. Let me say before we wrap up, congratulations.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate that, bro, man.
For making it this far. Y'all have come a long
Mm-hmm.
way. And I'm just honored to be a part of your journey and to witness your journey.
This is the second time you came on.
Not a lot of people can make it this far.
Absolutely. Yeah, thanks, man.
Even the venue that we're in today with this phenomenal background.
Shout out to Starbucks.
Keep up the good work. Keep the fresh content coming. Don't try to be like nobody else, because what you got going on is just for you and it's working for you.
Absolutely.
Appreciate that, bro.
Thanks, man. We appreciate
that, man.
it, man.
Tell the people where they can find you at, man, before we get out of here.
You can find me on all social media at The Great Jayden. That's Jayden. And yeah, interact with me. Follow me. I follow back. I don't act Hollywood, even though my last name is Hollywood, but
sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes when the camera's on.
Once in a while.
I did pull up to the trap because the address you gave me was low-key wrong, but...
Oh, wait.
No. Wait a minute.
Hold on. Before we get one more thing. The pod event in Atlanta that you went to, you were a host of that event, correct?
Yeah, I was the host of a Pod Connection ATL.
How was that for you? Putting it together in the actual event.
It was, the whole weekend was amazing because everybody there, positive vibes, everybody had good spirits. And it was amazing to see people that I've connected with so long on social media to actually see in person.
Yeah.
It's crazy because I feel like I already know you. Because
right.
I felt your spirit already. I know your voice. To see you in the physical is amazing. And it was iconic. We had amazing podcasters all in the same building.
Absolutely.
It was amazing. It was groundbreaking. And, I'm looking forward to what the future holds.
Houston, I heard.
Yeah. I was saying Houston for part 2.
So we'll see. I mean, it's a lot of stuff that's in the talks and in the works. So we shall see.
Okay. All right. That's a good look, man. I'm definitely going to be at the next one. If it's Houston, goddamn it, it's Houston. I missed that one. I ain't going to miss part 2.
Okay.
Fuck that.
And this was episode 130.